So you will have seen on the front pages of mainstream media outlets who, frankly, at this stage, I would say are complicit in blood libelling the Jewish people. But that's of course nothing new in Jewish history. We're used to the great institutions of the day libelling the Jews. It's not some fringe thing. It happens in the great institutions, whether it was the church 1,000 years ago or today the BBC. And they're talking about Israel killing journalists, innocent journalists, like this Al Jazeera journalist, which is literally, as you can see, on the front page of the BBC News channel, making it look, of course, to the average viewer out there, like Israel is some bloodthirsty, warmongerer that's not abiding by morality and sense and just completely indiscriminate. Let me tell you a bit more about who this was, okay? This is Anas Jamal al-Sharif, okay? He was a Hamas fighter. This is the intelligence we have. He enlisted on the 3rd of December 2013. He's part of the Hamas East Jabalia battalion. He was head of a terrorist cell in a Hamas-guided rockets platoon. And he posed as a journalist. And for all we know, maybe he was a journalist as well. I don't really care. The fact is, he was associated, collaborating with Hamas. Here he is with Yahya Sinwar and other clear Hamas leaders. Seems to be very, very delighted in their presence. Very, very proud of them. Here he is again with Sinwar. Now that, it's one thing to take a photo with people. It's another thing to be a Hamas fighter. It's also another thing to be someone that actively celebrates what Hamas did and what they do. This is him on Telegram. On October the 7th, in the afternoon, he writes, 9 hours and the heroes are still roaming the country, killing and capturing. God, God, how great you are. Yes, he sounds just like an innocent bystander journalist. As an account that I saw on Facebook said, editors and journalists who, as we saw a few weeks ago, took photos of children with congenital conditions and broadcast them to an already radicalized audience with this message, saying, look at what the Jews did. Not to do with starvation. They are engaging in a blood libel. And they're doing so again now. With this. What they're trying to do is paint the picture that Israel is basically what Hamas is. It's literally them doing a 180 on the truth. They're accusing Israel of the very thing that Hamas is guilty of. And of course, that's what happens the whole time with anti-Semitism. As Vasily Grossman says, show me what you accuse the Jews of, and I'll show you what the anti-Semites are guilty of, or what you are guilty of if you are making the accusation. The one thing that I have noticed in these times is that in the past, even when I was growing up and you had these wars, these skirmishes with Israel and Hamas, the truth was actually in some ways harder to clarify. Hamas would say Israel bombed a hospital with no good reason, or that the casualty figures were different between what Hamas and Israel was claiming, or the amount, the proportion of Hamas fighters to non-combatants, all these things. And it was sometimes very challenging, but especially when I was at school, at campuses, people would challenge me, and we didn't have all the facts. One thing I've noticed now is that the lies are becoming clearer for those who wish to see. The information's becoming more easily available. And that means that the lies are also getting more desperate. And this is the nature of what happens when lies and bad things and evil disintegrate. They actually become more extreme and more desperate and more fanatical as they become more desperate. But what's also happening is the truth is becoming clearer. And that is something that I welcome. That is something that we're going to keep shining a light on here at JTV, because hopefully it means that people will get the much needed clarity that we haven't had for so long. There's a very clear Jewish principle that in the end, the truth will come out, the truth will be clear to all, and that evil and lies not only will go away and be destroyed, but they'll actually expose and destroy themselves. Before we finish, I just want to share with you something really important. We are told that Israel's actions are the cause of the Israeli-Arab conflict, but we've just released a groundbreaking documentary proving that Arab Islamic Jew hatred far predates Israel's re-establishment. This is a critical fact that everyone needs to learn about. Have a watch of our trailer for our new JTV Plus documentary entitled Arab Anti-Semitism Before Israel's Re-Establishment. Picture yourself, it's 1834 and you're a Jew living in Tzfat, which is a northern city in Israel, then under the Ottoman Empire. Your family is part of this ancient city's spiritual heart for generations. You study Torah, you trade in the market, and live quietly among your Arab neighbours. But one day, a mob storms your street, shouting, "Kill the Jews!" Your home is looted, your synagogue burned, your loved ones beaten. This isn't about Israel. Israel won't exist for 114 years. This isn't about settlements, the IDF, or the 1948 displacements. This is raw, violent hatred aimed at you for being a Jew. And it's not just in Palestine, it's part of a centuries-old story of anti-Semitism woven into Arab and Islamic history, from the dawn of Islam to the streets of Hebron. The claim that this conflict began with Israel's creation, the Nakba, or modern policies, is a farce, a distortion that collapses under history's magnifying glass. Welcome to JTV Plus. I'm Ollie Annisfeld, and today we're uncovering a history too often buried, the relentless anti-Semitism among Arabs in Palestine before 1948, rooted in a broader Arab and Muslim hostility that began with Islam's inception in the 7th century. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.